Today was a day where you got rewarded if you're patient, if you trade inversions, or at least I did, right? I don't know for you guys, but today I got rewarded for waiting, right off open, just ripping, right? And right, I woke up to this. Where did I actually wake up? I woke up around here, but I wasn't gonna trade before news, obviously, and I don't trade before the market opens. So woke up as in 9 o'clock open, 9:30 open was around here. And yeah, we woke up to this. Everyone that trades 9:30 open and beyond, we woke up to straight pumping. The model looks very clean. That's why I had a bullish bias going to the open. If we pull up our Notion, right, we had a bullish bias going to open. I don't think anyone didn't. I don't think there's a single person. Even if you were the newest trader in the world, you look at this chart and say, oh, it's going up. It's a bullish day, right? We had the sweep on these lows here, and more importantly, these ones and these ones, like this big group. Yesterday, the model was perfect, right? We came into this imbalance. We traded lower, swept all of these stops, buy stops, or limit orders. We went below. Clear reversal signature, right? Inversing this move down, right? This V shape. And then we have the market maker buy models of buy side of the curve. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we had a ridiculously efficient buy side of the curve. And these are typical of very strong all-time high conditions. You'll see just really ripping rallies that just, you'll see like you'll get good structure and then you'll just get one candle that rips. Like this is a 30-minute, this is just one candle, 9:30 open, rips to all-time highs. Right, then we put in the structure, whatever, come down, take time. This is healthy structure, rips to all-time highs, right? This wasn't a small move. This was a 300-point move. I mean, it's not something that's abnormal, but, it's not like the most common move of all time. And when I'm looking at this, right, what is my rules for this? What do I say? Well, don't try and short. So I didn't try and short. I took one trade today, which is nice. And I didn't try and short, right? I didn't try and pick the top, right? I didn't try and say, oh, we swept the high here. Let's look for a break of structure to the downside, right? Which you'd get here, a change of state delivery, and you get wrecked, right? Don't try and go short. What do you look for on these days? Trend day guy number 2, at least for me, right? This might not be the sauce for you guys. This is the sauce for me. Wait for a 15-minute fair value gap tap, or 30-minute or 1 hour, anything higher than the 5-minute. 5 minutes, a little bit tricky. We didn't even get one besides this, but we ran through it. Why do we look for the 15-minute? Well, what do we get here? Well, you can expect that you're not just going to dump, right? I don't like using the word never, but I have almost never seen this move up followed by this move down, right? You always see this move up, somewhat move down, retake this high. Why? Because inherently, there's going to be people shorted, putting a short position here. What's the market doing? Squeezing those people out of the market, rallying, bull squeeze, bear squeeze, whatever you want to say. I don't know. People talk about that stuff. But I don't care about the terms or why it happens. I just care about the fact that I've seen it happen over and over. So what do I wait for? A 15-minute? Okay, cool. We don't get anything here. Market open. We don't trade down here. I think ES did, if I'm not mistaken. So we had an SMT fair value gap on ES off open. Yes, we did. Right here, notice how we tapped this fair value gap here on ES and NQ doesn't. So that was a nice catalyst for the bullish move. Not saying that that's why it had the move bullish, but it's always interesting to see those things. Then we get a rip up, right? We never trade back to this one. We put in a fair value gap here, and we wait. We sit and wait. And what do we get? We get 30 more minutes, and we finally trade below it. And we trade into this hourly fair value gap, which is the first imbalance after taking out this high. And I've heard Johnny talk about this. If you don't know Johnny, I found out about him when I was in Justin's Discord, and I watch a handful of his videos every once in a while. And I think he's a good trader. I think he has some good information. But I saw him talk about this, where the first fair value gap right after taking this high is very important, right? You either you disrespect it and you can anticipate bearish, or you hold it and you can anticipate higher. So for me, I don't know about you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of people that trade trends. They trade, opening day range gaps. They trade trend days whenever you open up higher, right? We opened a 0.5% higher than yesterday's close. Where was yesterday's close? 16, like right here. So we actually opened about almost a whole percent higher. So a lot of people have trend day models. I don't, right? I don't have a direct trend day model. That being said, I can capitalize when we get something like this. This is my bread and butter right here. It might not look like much on the 15 minute, but this little signature right here is my bread and butter. We also just, the 30-minute gap was the same 15 minutes. So if we drop down time frames, what are we looking at here, right? Generated low here and generated low here. We don't quite get that one. The magic happens on the 1 minute. This low is the bottom of the 30-minute and 15-minute. A lot of times you won't see all the lows get ran, right? You would like to see this get ran as well, but a lot of times you don't see that. Did we ever hit 50? Dang, we hit 50. So I'll go over why I'm talking about that. But, right, we end up putting in, and what I like to see is generating these highs. If I want to have a target up, I don't want to just see this move straight down and then try and get straight up. It doesn't really happen, so that's why this first move. Notice this, I actually took this on paper, and I mean I could show proof, but kind of waste time, but I took this on paper. The reason I took it on paper is we didn't deliver to a fair value gap yet. We didn't hit a 5 minute or hold a 5 minute. We disrespected this 1 minute. We didn't hit the 15 minute or 30 minute. So I said, cool, I'm not going to touch this, but this is probably going to go to this high. It didn't, right? What did we do? We generated more liquidity up here. We generated equal highs or relative equal highs. So then we generated more liquidity to get ran. We generated more liquidity to get ran. All at once they get ran, right? We generated more liquidity, and we had all of these highs, 3 highs here, 4th high here. We had all these generated. We had these lows generated, and we had these lows. So we had 3 lows. One of the sides is going to break. We rip lower, manipulate these lows right here, which is the 15 minute, like I showed you guys. And then I see this nice juicy fair value gap. When I see this, it's like I almost want to just long right here, right? But obviously you can't do that because you don't know. But it's like when I see this and I see this movement and I see it start stalling here and fizzling out, I mean, I'm telling you, man, this is just the bread and butter. This is just too easy. I'm talking big game for a guy that trades 2 micros, but it's bread and butter and it's too easy, right? So what do I wait for here? Obviously just to close above. Very simple. I got in on this open right here. My stop was right around here, but then I actually kind of gave it some breathing room to around this low because, yeah, I didn't really want to get just stopped out. And I'll pull up the execution, but this was the entry. Very nice. Very nice entry. Really, really just nice entry. Let's just do this. 15M. Yeah, so this was just a very, very, very solid entry. In my opinion, right? Maybe not for you, but for me. And this is just a bread and butter. This is something I have so much conviction with. This signature right here where we deliver from this 1 minute gap is even nicer instead of just running straight because it kind of does the rebalance for you. So I could have definitely left my stop here in hindsight. I put it down a little bit lower. I could have left it here. Why? Because if we're really efficient, this should be the generation of liquidity, right? You don't normally pull back near the low. You might pull back up here, but you don't really pull back near the low when you're really in the right trade. So we get that rebalance off of the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, rebalance to this 1 minute, and then close in the next candle. This is just a very nice price thing. And then we only had really 2 minutes of it just going sideways, never had really any drawdown, and we hit the break even. I did go break even at this high. Reason for that, just because whenever the low resistance liquidity starts getting ran, you do want to see it just be quick, honestly. Like I really like to just see it be quick. So I went break even. I put my stop like right at this candle's body low and let it play out, right? And then we have another amazing 1 minute fair value gap hold, right? This is beautiful. And then we actually have a really nice order block hold right here, which end up delivering price to the final target. If you guys see that, right? We close above this right here. We trade to it, and then we finally get that rip up to the upside. This was, I mean, just beautiful. I mean, this right here, this exact little just thing right here is my bread and butter setup. Like I'm telling you, it's just, this is exact. If I could only trade one thing ever, it's this. It's every time. 15-minute fair value gap inversion with the liquidity. It works so well. So that's free game. That's the market review for my trade. And then, yeah, so, but again, if we're looking at this, right, if you're looking here, for me, right, maybe you guys have an entry. I'm not saying you shouldn't or can't. I don't have an entry here. There's nothing in this that I can trade. and that's fine. You don't have to have a system that follows every single trade. You don't have to catch every single move. You don't have to catch all of the price discovery. You just have to find your bread and butter. You can be rich getting this. So a lot of people rich getting this, right? Yeah, it would be nice to be able to get rich doing this, but it's a lot easier to get rich here. I'll pull up the trade execution so you guys can see that. And I kind of want to go over where my take profits were. My first take profit was at these body highs. Reason for that, could definitely say just antsiness in the trade. We'll definitely admit that. Another reason I would say, honestly, just when you're at all-time highs, I kind of get more nervous to hold because I don't really know where it's going to go. And also, like, it showed resistance here. Obviously, that's just generated liquidity. I should have just left it for this high. But we went with 2 micros. I could have just left it like this and just let things play out and see what happens. So I just kind of dragged my stop down there, risking about 100. Never really planned on losing 100, but was risking that if it just tanked out of nowhere, right? We would have been down 100 on the day. I was trying to see if it closed. I was like, man, did it even close? But I was like, cool, we'll just see. It looks good. Whatever, not going to close it. So I think it closed. Maybe it didn't, but see, my break-even point was set. Then we'll just go over our take profit, or right here. So right here, I was like, okay, cool. This doesn't look bad. We have another fair value gap right here. I hope we don't touch it. But then we made the 2-minute inversion, and then we were just kind of stalling here. And I definitely, you might think it's crazy, but I had 2 micros, and, I definitely felt a little bit of nerves, right? It's not nerves of like, oh my gosh, like the amount I'm going to lose because I'm trading on evaluation, but it's more of like a pride thing I've recognized, and it's more of like a, I just like to win. I just like to be right. It's nice when it plays out. It feels good. You feel great. But one of the things that I took away from yesterday is that I just have to let the trades happen. If it's textbook, this is a textbook setup. If this lost, right, because I've seen it win so many times, if it lost, it's just a loss. It's no big deal. It's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I need to have that mind frame in this trade. I need to have that mindset and be like, yo, if I win, lose, this is a great setup, right? If this candle just, if right here it just closed like this and tanked one more time and we just built more liquidity and we had another setup, that's fine, right? But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case, right? It won. So we can look at it and say, oh man, it won. So I need to remember the times that it wins like this. This one worked. It was great. It was, a great trade, really, really nice trade. So I need to remember that for the future. Like say, hey, this is a great setup. Win, lose. I don't control that, right? I don't control if it wins or loses. What do I control? I control getting to the setup that I think looks good and letting it either work or not work. So that was what we had going today on this. And I end up taking out those body's highs. Kind of cuts myself short about 9 points. I think it ended up being about 9 points that I cut myself short. Just put at this candle's wick. But sometimes you just need to see the ball hit the back of the net, so to speak, and see, a take profit, right? Sometimes you just want to see it win, quote unquote. And I think that it's a win hitting those highs if it came back down, because you're never guaranteed anything in the market, and you can get really rich trading these moves, right? Again, I was just trying to see, okay, kind of measuring out how much that was in my mind to see, how many points that was. And then I was like, okay, where do I target now? Like, I have no idea. Where do I target now? So I hold my trade, and we'll kind of skip forwards. And I'm like, okay, where do I target? This order block was holding really nice. So I'm like, okay, where do I target? And then it shoots above the high right here. We actually kind of watch that live. So live time, whenever this candle will start printing up, I have my stop just at the fair value gap now, just in case it comes down. It really shouldn't come down from here, in my opinion. And I was like, okay, cool. What do I do to take profit, though? Because we're at all-time highs. This high here to the left, right over here, is literally the all-time high. So, I don't really know how to take profits. If any of you guys have, like, good systems for taking profits, I didn't want to just leave my stop at break even because we hit all-time highs. So, like there's no target for me to leave my run or two and then just say, oh, I'm going to leave my stop at break even because, this is my next target. When you're at all-time highs, it's like, okay, there is no more real target. I know someone said something in my comments before about how, there's liquidity targets and stuff. I mean, maybe I'm just not as well versed in the concepts in ICT as I need to be, but I'm not really that concerned. All-time highs trading is not something that you have to be an expert at, because you can just learn through experience of like how you want to hold, right? I think it's all personal. So yeah, it's above the thing, and honestly, I probably should just trail my stop aggressively, since if I wasn't gonna hold it, and just like kind of bring my stop to the candle low each time we print a candle. So I probably should have just left it here and then locked in another like $70, because we end up getting like 45. So that's $30 difference actually, $20-$30 difference. So then we end up leaving it right here underneath that 1 minute, and we do get stopped out, unfortunately. And if we look, I think, yeah, we got hunted, bro. I mean, not really, but we definitely just got stopped out if we just left our stop underneath this order, on this order block, or maybe underneath these wicks. We would have saw this price discovery. And I was targeting 50. I mean, man, this is why it's hard. It's like, do you just hold? Like, how do you know where to hold? That's something, like, that's a mistake I made. Definitely can just get better at, but it's tricky, right? How do you know? Right? How do you know? I don't know. So I'm happy with how I traded today. If we take a look at the account, we are at 52,164. Pretty nice. And yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful setup. Textbook. Delivered perfectly. Every imbalance was holding. Every Bollinger imbalance was holding. Fair value gap, inversion, fair value gap, order block. I don't really know what we had here. Maybe like this is just typical. When you take out the high, you do something weird, and then we're just having price discovery above all-time highs. So cool day. I think it was pretty fun to trade. I think I learned a lot, and we have this nice order block holding again. Nice day of the trade. Patience pays off because of it. I'm going to just lock my account here because, I mean, I'm done anyways. I have to go somewhere at 12. But yeah, beautiful day. And it's nice. It's nice to be back, take a nice winner. I mean, yeah, it's not a massive winner, but it's the first trade that really hit my take profits per se. Besides yesterday, but like the first day where I've won and hit my take profits without losing first. So my first one trade winner. Could we have traded bigger size here? Potentially, right? If we would have got in on this close here and then put our stop below this, we could have technically got away with 4 to 6 micros. I would say maybe 5, and then we'd have our stop down here. And then if we had 5 micros, we could have taken, let's just be modest, 2 off here, and then 2 off here, and then just let one go. So that would be 30 times 2, that's 60, plus 45, so it's 105, so that'd be 200 something dollars, and then we'd have our stop probably just trail to like, maybe this candle low, 31 to 60. So we'd be up like 260 guaranteed. We'd be floating around 300. So would be a lot bigger of a win, obviously, but I'm just trying to stay consistent, not rush the last little bit. I'm not in a rush to get my evaluation passed, especially because I just got rebuild. So I have a whole month per se, right? I'm not in like it's not like if I pass my account tomorrow, I don't pay $50. So I pay $50, and let's take our time with it. We don't have to, crawl, but we don't need to take Hail Marys, and we don't need to pass it in a day, right? It's not like that, and I don't need to get that out of my mind. And honestly, I'm just more comfortable trading 2 micros, right? I have a lot of confidence in setup, like I told you guys, but obviously I don't have, enough confidence to take with more size, right? So I think that just comes with time. And I'm more comfortable on 2 micros. I trade better with 2 micros. I still make mistakes sometimes with 2 micros. So why really worry about doing anything more, right? You can make a lot of money trading 2 micros if you know how to trade. Yeah, you're not going to be a millionaire, but you're going to be able to make good money, and especially at my age, I can definitely start making some money with it. So, yeah, I'm more than happy with today. Obviously, maximizing profits is going to be a constant battle, a constant learning curve, something that is going to always progress and get better and better and better. And that's just going to come with time. I mean, I got to see this happen. I got to get that benefit of seeing it and get in and be rewarded for it. But I then also get to see, okay, I took a profit here when I probably shouldn't take a profit till here. And then, I could have left my runner and trailed less aggressively. Maybe we could trail, 2P to raise lower. So fair value gap, okay, so my stop loss it's underneath this fair value gap. right? Okay, now we trade above. Okay, now I can move to this fair value gap. Okay, we have fair value gap here. Okay, I'm not gonna move, so I'm gonna now move. Or now we have an order block, so now I'm gonna trail my stop to this fair value gap low, which is just the entry break even, I guess. And then who knows? We end up holding this. We end up having a fair value gap. Okay, so now I'm gonna put it at the order block low. Okay, we trade above this. We hold the fair value gap. Okay, now I'm gonna put it at this low. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I think that comes with time. Just learning how to properly progress, and taking profits can be a constant battle, right? Something that you can always improve on. So great day. Gonna journal it, obviously. I think this picture is just too beautiful, not the tweet. So follow me on Twitter, Diego B Trades. I'm pretty sure. Just post random stuff on there, mostly trading, sometimes not. And yeah, appreciate all you guys for watching to this point in the video, watching my videos, subscribing, liking the videos. I really appreciate it. It's really, really cool. I think we're building something great here. And I think it's a really positive group of people that watch these videos because you guys are just here not to necessarily learn, right? I talk about the chart, talk about my learning stuff, but I don't think you guys really come here to learn directly from me. But you guys do get the, hear some of my opinions and my whatever. And I think it's a positive community because anyone that's coming here to watch me learn, get better, that roots for me, I really appreciate you. Because I think just the way the world works, man, when positivity is put out into the world, God will reward you for that. And people that are positive, right? Stay positive. Encourage others, right? Sometimes I'm guilty of being a negative person to other people. I try and limit that. I try and realize, okay, why do I have this type of reaction to someone? I'm not perfect, but I really like to try and just put out a lot positively into everything I try and do. So I'm not perfect, but I'm getting there. Man, is it raining? Such a gloomy day out. Real Madrid won yesterday. We needed that win. I say we as if I'm on the team, but Madrid needed that win. They needed that win badly. So at least I'm pretty confident they'll make it out of the group stage phase, which is wild to say. And then today I think we have Barcelona and Dortmund is the game I'll be watching. But most of you guys don't care about soccer, so I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Is tomorrow Friday? No, it's Thursday, so we still got 2 more days. Let's finish our week strong. Keep following our rules. Appreciate all the support. Peace.